Hi, welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. Today I'm going to do a tag. The tag is called the Trans Inclusive Beauty Tag, and I'm nervous to do these questions and answer these questions because I'm not a very good person. I'm not very good at speaking, so these things make me uncomfortable, but I loved the idea of this tag. I loved the tag, and so I'm going to do it. It was created by Danny here on YouTube. She also has a Instagram. I've watched her videos, but she does a lot of bougie makeup and so I don't watch her a lot, but I have followed her and enjoy her content. If you like bougie makeup, she's for you. I think she's really sweet, and yeah, she doesn't know who I am, but I have watched her stuff and I commented probably a year or so ago on her stuff. And then I watched this video actually originally by Tom. They're Haunt Miss Tom. I know I said that wrong. They say it so good. Haunt Miss Tom. I can't do it. I can't. But they have an Instagram and a YouTube, and so I will leave their channels down below. The first question is, what is your name? What are your pronouns? And why do you feel using pronouns are important? Hi, my name is Ash and my pronouns are they, them. And I think that using pronouns are important because it is such an easy way to affirm somebody's identity. It is an easy way to create a safe space for everyone. It's such an affirming thing to do for people, and it's easy. It's easy. I mean, mistakes happen, right? But I do feel like it is one of the most simplest and most affirming thing that you can do for somebody, especially a trans person. If you are using their pronouns, you don't even understand or know, I don't know, how affirming and just how it feels, because there's no way for me to describe what it feels like when somebody actually affirms my gender and how happy it makes me. And yeah, it's important. That's why it's important, in my opinion. I also want to say that I describe myself as agender. Non-binary, in my opinion, is kind of like an umbrella term, and then underneath that is a wide range and of terms. And for me, agender feels more appropriate than non-binary. I don't feel like I have a gender. I don't. I know I'm very feminine. On YouTube, I am very feminine. In my, I'm very fluid in my appearance. When I'm not filming, I do sometimes wear a binder. I do wear masculine clothes and masculine scents and cover up my hair, and those are sides of me that YouTube doesn't necessarily get to see, but that exists for me as well. I do both. But yeah, I don't feel like I have a gender. I don't use the term for myself. I don't call myself a trans person, even though technically under that umbrella of the definition of transgender, I belong under that umbrella, and technically I am a trans person. If somebody calls me trans, I am not offended at all. And actually, it kind of affirms me a little bit. I just feel like a fake and a fraud a lot of times, I think, and that's why I don't feel like I belong in the transgender term. But yeah, moving on. That's unpacking my own bullshit. I also want to say I am not a spokesperson for trans people. All right, we are so vast. See, I just referred to myself as trans. the trans community is very vast. The way people feel is very vast. There are so many different feelings, so many different opinions and thoughts, and that's okay. I'm just saying that I cannot speak for everybody. I am speaking for myself. Where do you see trans inclusivity currently, and where do you see it going in the coming years? I grew up, in the 90s, so there was a lot of trans hate, including like Friends, with Chandler's dad. Just shows like that was very homophobic and very transphobic, and I grew up seeing that, and now I am getting to see people who are trans on TV, including, trans musicians, trans actors and actresses, and them being open about their transition, and I think it's amazing. I feel like we have a long way to still go. I hope that we get there. For me right now, to think about it, it's a very scary space for trans people. The world has always been scary for trans people, but it is getting, it's just scary. Right now, people in Nebraska are fighting for youth's rights to receive trans medical care. I know that's not the beauty space. We're talking about beauty space, and so I don't want to like go on a side tangent, but trans people are often overlooked. They are often hated. They are often not accepted. And right now I feel like they are the topic and the ones to really hate and blame for everything, including in the school systems. And I don't know, I feel like maybe we'll get better, because that's the only feeling that I can have. And because if I don't think positive, then I go into a very deep, dark space, right? So I hope that the trans community will continue to gain more support. And like simple things like there was that one show, what was it called? It was on Amazon, Parents, I forgot what it was called, but they ended up having to cancel it because the guy was toxic. But they had a cis man play a trans woman's part, and that just, why? It's the only space that is allowed for a trans woman is for a trans woman to play a trans woman, and that's wrong, because trans women are women, and these parts that they quote unquote are for cis women, like, no, like a trans woman should be able to play any role as a woman, and they're not allowed to. And then you have trans women roles that are specifically about trans women, and they're being played by fucking men. No, why are you casting a man in a role about a trans woman when you won't allow a trans woman to be cast as a woman in a movie? I just think we have a lot more growth that needs to happen, and for my identity, I don't feel like I still don't see a lot of people who represent me, and I want that to grow. I do believe that the younger generation is going to make big changes, and that gender is a social construct, and that they are bending that and we'll change that, hopefully. Why do you feel it is important to be inclusive of trans folks in all spaces, not just the beauty space? Because trans people are fucking people. They belong here just like you. And they are underrepresented, mistreated, denied their rights to be called the pronouns that are affirming to their identity. They are refused jobs, they are raped, they are murdered, they are denied health care. They are the topic of discussion and hate. They are viewed as sexual predators. Like, they are not fucking going anywhere, and they are human, and they are not fucked up people, and they are, God, this is gonna make me cry because just all of the fucked up shit in the media right now. And also the statistics exist, and that just by supporting a trans person, you substantially raise their risk of suicide and depression by a lot. You could save a trans person's life just by accepting them. And yeah, so I'm just gonna move on because I have a lot to say about that. Like, I have a lot of feelings. Trans people are people, and they have the right to exist and the right to be included. And by being an inclusive space or showing or representing trans people, you're making them feel valid and accepted, and making them feel safe. And this world is very unsafe for trans people, and we need to change that. What trans content creators would you like to spotlight? What have you learned from watching their content? Can also apply to non-beauty community folks. Okay, so I don't follow a lot of trans creators here on YouTube. I do follow quite a few on TikTok, mostly about people who are, you know, educating or showing the laws that are going into effect right now, or people fighting for their right to have those laws not go. And honestly, I don't know any of their names. So I'm going to try today to scroll and hopefully find those creators that I follow on TikTok, and I will post them down below. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that my algorithm shows those people to me today. But also here on YouTube, here are a couple of people that I follow or have followed. Miss Tom, who I started following last year, and they did a no buy, and I loved that. No low buy, and that was fun, and I learned a lot about not buying makeup or buying makeup. Tom uses a lot of bougie makeup, which is not me, but I do learn a lot about bougie makeup from Tom. And then like I said, I've watched a couple of Danny's videos. I think she's beautiful. Like, I think she's so freaking pretty. But yeah, she does beauty content, and I have watched Queer Bones, and they are very open about not supporting certain brands, and are very knowledgeable about makeup brands, and have really beautiful looks. There is a person on Instagram that I follow. These people don't even know I exist. A lot of times I watch videos and I don't comment because I feel, I don't know, weird commenting. I know that sounds so stupid being a creator myself, but I just don't feel, I don't know, like I have anything worth saying, so I don't. But I follow Artemis the android. When it has a / I follow them on Instagram, and I think that they create beautiful looks. Yeah, that's about all of the creators that, it's not a lot, and I should seek out those creators because, yeah, I would like to. What brands do you see putting, and if you know of other trans creators, put them down below so I can go follow them and give them some love and spotlight them, please. So the other question is, what brand do you see putting trans inclusivity into practice, and can you provide examples? Can also be non-beauty related brands. Okay, so for me, a lot is about brands that really don't, like, that come to my mind, like Jeffree Star. He just did his rant on hating non-binary people. So yeah, there's that. But ColourPop kind of threw a few punches, in my opinion, at the community. As far as brands that do, I don't know, I would say House Labs, because Lady Gaga is an advocate, and I know that she used to have a lot of different types of models. And then also Fluid Beauty, but I don't think that they're in company anymore. I had one of their palettes that was came in Ipsy, I think, and they seemed very for the community. It's a shame that they're gone. I will say Charlotte Tilbury just posted her pictures, and she included a trans woman and a trans woman of color who's very famous, by the way, and she's fucking phenomenal. She was in Pose and has done other things, but she was you know, posing for her new ad, which I think is a good step in a direction, and for a bougie company to have a trans woman of color modeling for them is great, in my opinion, a great step in the right direction. Let's see, I don't know, I really don't know. Yeah, I should know more, but I don't. I think I haven't watched Queer Bones' video yet on this, and I want to. I bet that they list a lot, because they seem to be more in tune to those things, so I would check out their video, because knowing what I've seen of Queer Bones, they probably have listed quite a few. I don't know though. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let's see. The last question is just, please post your video, reel, TikTok, YouTube short with the hashtag trans inclusivity, with a hashtag trans inclusive beauty tag and trans beauty tag to make your content easily findable. I think that this video is probably long as shit, but also I think that this was an amazing tag, and yeah, I encourage you to do it, anybody, because this is about spotlighting trans creators. And so even if you are not a trans creator yourself, I think it would be great for you to spotlight trans creators that you follow, and to bring more awareness to the trans community and the beauty space. Yeah, go show all of these creators love and support, and please link or mention any other trans creators or non-binary creators down below. Yeah, I'm just gonna go now. Bye. I'm sorry in advance. I don't know, these videos make me really nervous because I don't talk very well, and I don't feel like what's in my mind comes out of my mouth the right way. I'm not speaking it correctly,